defensive storylines. Top defensive storylines for Nebraska. I'm going to start right here. Transfers. I want to see MJ Sherman. Can he make an impact? I want to see Elijah Judy, because you look at that defensive front, the 280 plus pound bodies on the defense. Can Elijah Judy put himself up there? Because they need Elijah Judy to give them quality reps.
Sean, I'd almost say if he doesn't, they're in trouble. I mean, they don't have enough guys.
Yeah, because Ruquan Buckley has not seen the field.
No, but he's a possibility. I mean, he's a guy that has a great opportunity here. They just don't have many guys right now. They don't have enough. I don't think they have enough bodies, but they have some decent players. But Judy's got to be a guy that does give them something. Ty Robinson, of course, returns. Now, he won't be available this spring, Ty, because of his injuries. But come on, Nash Hutmacher, Sean, he's got to take a big step up now, right?
Yeah, his year didn't really move the needle a lot last season.
Not really. He didn't make many plays.
The other thing we don't know, though, is like how many of these edge guys or even like the bigger linebackers can play on the line of scrimmage.
That'll be a question.
Like how the 3-3-5 that we don't really know much about. I mean, I think the building of the 3-3-5 in general, like how the parts are put together, that's another thing I'm interested in.
That is interesting. And I think you will. I mean, there was some question. Are you even going to see a 3-3-5? I think you will, because they don't have a lot of linemen. I think a 3-3-5 is good for a program that doesn't have a lot of 290 to 320 pounders. So yeah, I do think you'll see it. And maybe that it diminishes the impact of that conversation where I don't think they have enough depth up front. Well, maybe they don't need the depth that you would need in like a 4-3, right? That's what I'm saying. So Ty Robinson's big. Nash Hotmucker's big. Stephon Wynn's big. Can he take his game to another level? Wynn's back. These are grown men too. These guys are veteran players. And you just got to hope at this point of their career, you can still get more out of them. I think you can.
Yeah. And, linebacker, what's it like on the inside? Ernest Hausman's gone.
Yeah.
Heinrich and Reimer, two talented players that have battled injuries their entire time in terms of staying healthy. Do they even have what you would call a third inside linebacker between Snodgrass, Gaber, Kapai, Malcolm? I don't know if they do.
Well, they might. You don't know, but here's the key, Sean.
And Grant Taggy as a walk-on. Don't sleep on that name.
Okay. Here's the key, Sean. You don't know if they don't have that. I mean, one of those guys might be ready to roll.
Well, what about like Jake Applegate? Very explosive, athletic guy. Could he move to that position? I think he could.
Yeah, that's not probably a guy that you'd count on.
He's got
you're talking now, Sean,
too deep. I'm talking too deep, like third, fourth guy. We know who the top two are.
Well, if you're talking about the third guy, it's got to be a guy that can go in the game against Michigan and get it done. Michigan's going to come in here with both their running backs returning. Sean, here's the thing. I try to say this to people, and they look at me like I'm crazy. These aren't just fun little discussions when Michigan comes to town. Okay, these aren't. I mean, you got to have dudes ready to go.
You're playing like NFL type level talent.
Yeah, you're starting the season at Minnesota. Not that Minnesota's great, but what is Minnesota going to try to do to you? They're going to try and ram it down your throat. This isn't playtime. I mean, we've learned that like these offseason discussions, I think people get an incredible amount of hope, and it's very flowery. All I think about is the Saturdays in autumn when it's on, and it's in the Big Ten. It's hardcore.
Think about that Wisconsin game this year.
I think about all these games,
like how it didn't matter what kind of offense you ran. Right. It was just like who wants to put on their work boots,
and
their Carhartts,
yeah,
and push for 4 yards
and slug it out. And let me tell you, Nebraska did a good job.
And they should have won that.
Yeah,
game.
Nebraska has some guys that are ready for that.
The wheel route. That was the wheel route game.
That was a wheel route game. They have a lot of guys who are ready for that scenario. But now when you're talking about Randolph Kapai, Michael Gabai, Seth Malcolm, those guys, are they ready for that? That's the thing you don't know. Now, again, they could be ready. You just don't know it. You just have to see.
Yeah, and we'll see some of these newer guys here in the spring. Maverick Noonan's here. Prince Emmanuel, a 4-star. He's here.
Mm.
Chief Borders is here. Kai Whalen is here. MJ Sherman is here. So there's 5 kind of linebacker edge dudes that are here right now.
Yep.
And it's way out down the line, but I'm very intrigued about Eric Fields.
Yeah. Again, that's way down the line.
No, that's summer, but his athletic ability and what he brings.